Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now getting closer to the very end of April of 2023, and as fans are really preparing for the Ahsoka Tano series, which by the way debuts this August, a lot of fans are just embracing what John and Dave have to offer for the Ahsoka series, which by the way Dave wrote every single episode of the show, so it should be very well done on a consistent basis. A lot of fans are looking forward to Thrawn, the new villains, Ezra, Sabine, Era Syndulla, and more. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future Star Wars updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. Now, there's a lot of things happening between, of course, the whole Gina Carano situation, the Disney executives, and how they're really trying to find, great ways to really remedy the whole situation. Now, we talked about how there was one big proposal that was happening a couple of weeks ago that thankfully has now been finalized. We will be talking about every single piece about this and exactly what it entails and how it does involve The Mandalorian as a series, as well as, of course, Cara Dune as a character coming back for starters. Now, we know that everything related to John and Dave is that they really are passionate creators, and not just creators, but passionate fans. This is why they love to do whatever they do. They like to work around the clock on these projects because it's their passion. It doesn't feel like work or a job to them, and I admire that about them. At the very least, they are trying their absolute best to really make things right, and as we have learned, Kathleen Kennedy did indeed end up having some kind of creative input only during the scripting phase of Mando Season 3, not during principal photography, aka filming. So, on to the next thing. So with Disney and Lucasfilm getting ready to make more major announcements at this year's D23 event, it's described that recently Disney executives came to a conclusion that they are indeed finalizing their plan to release a special edition of The Mandalorian Season 2 in 2024 that is going to feature deleted scenes related to Gina Carano's performance as Cara Dune that was intentionally cut out by Kathleen Kennedy at the time, back in 2020 before the season even aired. Specifically, Disney's plan now is to bring back Gina Carano in the first phase through the use of her deleted scenes and footage appearing in the special edition of Mando Season 2, where she is set to have a full-fledged scene speaking to Luke Skywalker about his sister Leia, and informing Din Djarin and everyone else in the room who he really is. The setup to this scene is described to include never-before-seen dialogue by Pedro Pascal as Din Djarin, when he is asking who Luke is, where Cara Dune then steps in between Din and Luke and explains to everyone, out loud, that this is the man who defeated the Emperor and Vader, and that his sister is the leader of the new rebellion, which eventually becomes the Resistance. Now let me pause right here for a second. Now, the Mando Season 2 Special Edition, by the way, it's not just about reviving deleted scenes and throwing them into the actual canon, and yes, they will be considered canon, but they are also going to be resurfacing Luke Skywalker's face in the Mando Season 2 finale. So basically, their realistic touch of the deepfake technology that was provided for the Book of Boba Fett for Luke is going to be all redone in the Mandalorian Season 2 finale to match up the continuity. This, I don't know about you guys, is very exciting. The fact that we are going to get an enhancement of Luke's appearance in Mando Season 2 next year that's really going to give it a different feel to it all. Alright? Now, what I like so much about this too is the fact that Disney is very well aware that the technology that they had at the time when making Mando Season 2 was very underused, that it wasn't as well as it was supposed to be done. And if you guys look at the Book of Boba, obviously the deepfake tech is the way to go. That's the way to go about doing things. It just makes more sense. But moving on to the next thing, the fact that we are going to be getting a full-fledged deleted scene as the first phase of bringing back Cara Dune on Disney Plus for the first time, since she was fired before Season 3 even was, entering into filming. This is, of course, something of an accomplishment on John and Dave's part, because they had been pushing the executives for over 6 months about finalizing these plans, getting this down, fixing up Luke Skywalker's, CG face in Mando Season 2. Now look, I'm not being pessimistic or negative about Luke's appearance in Mando Season 2. It is what it is, right? It was what it was. And it was just very exciting to this day. Even looking back, it was a very exciting time for Luke to make his entrance, you know? I think, honestly, the action of him taking on those Dark Troopers was more exciting than the face reveal, in my opinion. But having Luke standing there and getting redone is something that I think a lot of fans are really going to cheer about, and how it's going to make it seem all the more impactful to the audience. But Gina coming back and really interrupting the conversation between Luke and Din and telling everybody who he really is. This, of course, entails that Din does not know who Luke is, because he's asking, who is this? Who is this Jedi, you know? We know that Bo-Katan refers him to as the Jedi, or a Jedi. And Moff Gideon, you can see it on his face, that he feels very threatened when Luke is coming in on his X-Wing into the bay and taking on those Dark Troopers. So, it's very interesting the fact that Disney is moving along with these plans and making this all happen. Continuing on, Disney executives have agreed to actually reinstate her deleted scenes to be shown on Disney Plus by the summer of next year, which will also involve an updated deepfake of Luke's face. And on top of that, following the Disney plans to bring back Gina in a new version of Rangers of the New Republic that has now been greenlit, that will hold a new title for fans to see in the future, that will be announced at this year's November Disney's earnings call. Now, the thing about this is the fact that they are redoing Rangers and reinstating it to the roadmap, kind of giving it a new story, enhancing the story, giving it a new title. It's basically going to be Rangers reincarnated. And that's the one show that Gina was supposed to lead in, and now they're giving it to her. Now, it's a very big work in progress. It's going to be all up to Gina Carano, and she's going to have to decide by this June if she even wants to come back. I don't know about you guys. What do you think? Do you think she'll even accept that offer? Will she really come back after how terrible she was treated? I would love to hear your opinion on that and exactly where you stand on that. But nonetheless, they already have pre-plans to bring Gina back in Ahsoka Season 2 as well as Mando Season 4. So 3 major projects. The reinvented Rangers of the New Republic show, Ahsoka Season 2, and Mando Season 4 are the 3 projects that they want to bring Cara Dune back into fruition. That's basically John and Dave's game plan. That's what the Disney executives are aiming for. Of course, the executives that are loyal to Kathleen Kennedy do not want this to happen. They are challenging this and trying to really turn this down, and it's not a big surprise, really. You know, you're always going to have loyals to Kathleen Kennedy trying to shoot anything down that poses as some kind of, road, block for Kathleen Kennedy's creative process or her creative agendas, so to speak, and when she's using the Acolyte and Skeleton Crew, basically just as her own creations and not for the love of Star Wars, right? So overall, I would like to hear what you all have to say about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. From night to moon, we hear them moans again.